today for a special video here. Is the UEFA Champions League official group stages reaction and predictions that I'm going to be doing on this video here today. And I am so excited for this predictions and reaction to the Champions League. I've never done this on my video at all. Obviously Newcastle, for example, they're going to be in the group of death with obviously Dortmund, PSG and AC Milan. That's going to be a tough group. Arsenal, however, we're back in the Champions League, baby. The Champions League, we are back. And we are in an easier group. We've got Sevilla, PSV and Lens, or Lens, whatever they're called. And we'll be having them also in this prediction. So for the first time in 6 years, Arsenal not played in the Champions League. But finally, I'm excited that we're in the big leagues. And let's get to it right now for the video of the reaction and predictions on this video right now. And now here I'm reacting to my first group stages that I'm reacting in this campaign. As we're going to react to the first group, has been obviously drawn out from a couple of days ago now for Group A. We also have here Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Copenhagen and Galatasaray are the first four teams have been potted into Group A together, and two of the teams will advance into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. Well, obviously Bayern Munich are probably the favourites to win the whole entire group, and Man United to come second, really, the bookies say. And they also that obviously Galatasaray and Copenhagen will probably fight for the Europa League places in third position. But I think that my prediction as well in this group between Bayern Munich and also Man United, I reckon both teams will. I think the pot looks like right there. That's exactly where we finishing by Christmas. I think first will be Bayern Munich. Obviously, Harry Kane returning back to England to play against Manchester United in the Champions League, obviously leaving Spurs. I think they'll come first in the group, but I think Man United will come second. And I think that unfortunately between Galatasaray and Copenhagen, those two teams are going to fight each other for the Europa League spot. But I don't care about all that. All I care about who will progress into the round of 16 for the Champions League. So I'm going to go for the teams who will be played in the UEFA Champions League. It's going to be Bayern Munich and also as well Manchester United. The two teams I just mentioned right there will be the ones that the bookies sat as well. I sat as well. It's going to be sat to finish. First will be Bayern Munich, second will be Manchester United. I think Man United might find it a bit difficult. I reckon they're going to find it playing Bayern Munich, but against Copenhagen and Galatasaray, I think they're going to really overcome them. So I'm going to go for Bayern Munich to come first, and I'm going to come second, Manchester United in Group A. Now I'm reacting and predicting for Group B. Well, that's my group, that is. Arsenal are finally back in the UEFA Champions League for the first time since 2017. It's been like, well, 6 years now, Arsenal not played in the big time, the Champions League. We've been around Europa Leagues now for a very long time now. It's time for us to play in the Champions League for the first time since Arsene Wenger was in charge, and we lost 10-2 in Africa in the round of 16 way back in 2017. But we're finally back. I'm very impressed with the group stage we've got in the group stage of the UEFA Champions. We've not really got anything difficult or any complicated teams in this group, but we have Sevilla, a team who are specialists in the Europa League, won most of the Europa League for 7 times in their club's history. They might even drop out, you never know, and win the whole thing maybe there if they struggle in the UEFA Champions League. They've got obviously PSV Eindhoven, a team we actually are familiar to from last season, where they played in our group in the Europa League. And we've also got Lens, a team from Ligue 1. Never really seen them play in the European football stages, so that's going to be interesting to play Lens. I think we've played them before, but that was like years and years and years ago. We played them in the Champions League for a very long time. But yeah, they're in it as well with us in our group. But we have Sevilla, one of probably the favourites to probably qualify with us into the round of 16. But there's actually issues that Sevilla have got some like financial difficulties in their club apparently. So they're not doing very well apparently in La Liga last season when they won the Europa League in the first place. They earned their right to be in this competition because they won it last season against Roma. But they had some issues they've had with management and also recruitment wise and financially. I think they've had some issues I think with the fair play system as well for Sevilla. So it'll be interesting. Will that affect them in the Champions League? We'll have to wait and see about that. But since Sevilla is more of a bigger club compared to PSV Eindhoven and Lens, I think it's going to be Arsenal and Sevilla will be the ones who will progress into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. The first two are potted on here. I reckon it'll be Arsenal come first, and I think Sevilla will come second. these are the two teams will progress into the UEFA Champions League. I think we'll probably beat Sevilla. I think with our squad, our players, we've not played it for a very long time. I think we're really destined to win the group. So I reckon we'll win the group. Though it says we are second in the group by the video right here, but since they're being potted out in pot 2, but I think it will be us will come first. I think Sevilla will come second, but I reckon it'll be Sevilla and Arsenal will be the ones who will qualify into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. And now we move on to Group C of the UEFA Champions League that I'm reacting to. We have is Napoli, Real Madrid, Braga and Union Berlin. Well, Union Berlin are making their debut in the UEFA Champions League. It's been a long journey for this club from the Bundesliga, from the lower leagues, from non-league football of Germany up to the Bundesliga, and they came 4th last season, and they're playing in the UEFA Champions League. This is what I'm trying to do as well with Bremerhaven on my video. If you want to look at those Bremerhaven career modes, they're going to be a link on down in the description below after this video's out. If you want to watch Bremerhaven, just go ahead and watch it on my channel. But anyway, let's get straight to this, my prediction and my reaction to Napoli, Real Madrid, Braga and Union Berlin. With Napoli, however, won the Serie A last season for the first time since 1985, when Diego Maradona was actually playing at the time as a player for Napoli. A long time ago it's been Napoli not won the Serie A. They won it last season, they did. Real Madrid, however, a team whoever got Jude Bellingham now. They signed from Borussia Dortmund to join another Champions League team now, Real Madrid. He's going to be a real young, good, promising midfielder in the years to go by. Even abroad, not just England, but abroad, he's going to be making a established player. He's going to be for Real Madrid, and even for other clubs in the future, wherever he goes, even the Premier League, if he ever goes there a couple of years' time from now. And also Braga, a team who I remember they played in the Champions League years and years ago. I remember we played them, Arsenal did, way back in 2011, but they're in it. And also Union Berlin, which is mentioned. But I reckon this group between Real Madrid and Napoli, Braga and Union Berlin, I just think the top two teams, again, will be the ones who will progress into the round of 6. I like a shocker though, I'd rather have a shock, but Real Madrid always qualify. They never drop out in the group stages. They always qualify every single year they do. So I think they will do the exact same thing again. I think it'll be them and also Napoli. They're going to be the ones will be qualified into the UEFA Champions League round of 16 next round, and also Real Madrid will be. And I think Real Madrid, I think Napoli will come second, and I think Madrid will come first. Whoever's going to win the group, I reckon it's going to be obviously Real Madrid. But I'm highlighting it all in green. The teams will be progressing, so it's going to be Napoli and Real Madrid will be the ones. The top two teams again will progress into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. Now we react to in Group D of the UEFA Champions League, as we have Benfica, Inter Milan, Red Bull Salzburg, and also as well Real Sociedad, as these are the 4 teams are drawn into Group D of the UEFA Champions League. Well, Benfica, a team who came first in the Portuguese league last season, while Inter Milan came finalist in the UEFA Champions League and almost won, but Man City won their first European title for the first time in their club's history when they played Inter Milan way back in June. And obviously they're in Group D and potted in pot 2. And my prediction, I reckon, is going to go through between Benfica, Inter Milan, and also Salzburg, and also Real Sociedad. I'm going to go, again, for the first 2 top teams will be the ones who will progress into the round of 16. Well, I think Salzburg and Real Sociedad are good teams, but they're not as quality compared to Benfica's and Inter Milan's team. They've got probably a better squad of players they've got for the 2 sides, Benfica and Inter Milan. But I think Inter Milan will win the group though. I think they'll come first in their group, and I think as well second, I think Benfica will come second in the group. But those are the 2 teams I reckon will be the ones who will go into the round of 16 and progress to that competition, the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League after the group stage in a couple of months after. Now we move on to Group E of the UEFA Champions League. We've got Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio and Celtic. Well, this group's going to be a very, very I think it's going to be a bit of a tough one between Feyenoord and Lazio. I think Atletico Madrid's definitely won the group. They come first in the group. And I reckon as well, second, I'm going to go for between Lazio and Feyenoord. I don't think Celtic will qualify. Celtic are the best in Scottish football, but you're playing against the top teams. And Celtic are not going to qualify. I think they'll come 4th, Celtic. But between Lazio and also Feyenoord, it's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to go for Lazio. Lazio has not really had much experience in the UEFA Champions League for quite some time now, apparently so. It's been a few years they haven't played in the European competitions. But I think it's going to be Lazio and Atletico Madrid will be the ones who will progress into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. So Atletico Madrid and also Lazio will be the two teams who will progress into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League in the next couple months after the groups have all been finished. But I think Atletico Madrid will come first, Lazio will come second in Group E of the Champions League. And that's my predictions in Group E and my reaction to Group E. And now we go to a huge group, the biggest group that I've actually never anticipated to happen in the UEFA Champions League, the Group of Death. We've got 4 good teams. Well, Newcastle's probably premature at the moment, I think, compared to Dortmund, PSG and AC Milan. But what a group we've got in Group F, ladies and gentlemen. PSG, Mbappe going to St James's Park, Mbappe versus Dan Burn. It's going to be an epic game, Newcastle as well, and for PSG and for Dortmund and for AC Milan. But for PSG, they obviously will, our team wants to win the Champions League. They haven't won a Champions League competition. Even their owner expects them to actually win the UEFA Champions League, but they haven't done that. They always win their French respective league, the Ligue 1, every single season, but then they always fail to win the Champions League. That's their problem. They have to sack a few managers up. Pochettino, he failed. Tuchel failed. Unai Emery failed at PSG. And there were so many managers who failed. Even Luis Enrique, the previous manager, has failed to get PSG to win their first ever Champions League trophy. Going down to Borussia Dortmund, a team who obviously lost Jude Bellingham in the summer to Real Madrid. They've got a couple of good players in their team. Obviously, Marco Reus is a player. Sabitzer plays now for Dortmund. He's signed from Bayern Munich to join the German rivals Borussia Dortmund. He's joined Borussia Dortmund, Sabitzer. But they've got a good side as well. They have also Haller up front, the up striker for Borussia Dortmund. He might even score some good bangers in the Champions League as well. For AC Milan, they even had obviously got Olivier Giroud, who plays for AC Milan, and they've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They signed from Chelsea. They've got even Tamari to play for Chelsea also. They've got some English players also in the mix with AC Milan. But for Newcastle, they haven't played in this competition since 2002 and 2003 seasons. It's been a long time Newcastle not played in the Champions League. And we know that they've been having, relegated. They went under Mike Ashley. They've got new owners now since took over Newcastle 2 years ago. And they've been really competing now, Newcastle, for the first time for a long time. And it's good to have them into the competition. And I can't wait to see having Dan Burn playing Mbappe. That's going to be massive, it's going to be. But my prediction in this group, the Group of Death, PSG will come first. Between AC Milan or Borussia Dortmund will probably come second. But I'm going to probably stick with, I'm going to go for probably AC Milan will be the one will come second. I think it'll be a tight between Dortmund and AC Milan, but I think AC Milan will come second. I think Borussia Dortmund will come third and they will have to drop into the Europa League. But for Newcastle, a great time to be in the UEFA Champions League. They're not having a good season so far under Eddie Howe. Lost to Brighton and also lost to Liverpool in their last 2 matches. So in a way, it's going to be very tough for Newcastle. A tough ask for them to actually get brought out from Mike Ashley 2 years ago. Punch above their weight up to 11th position, their first season under the new owners, and push them even above their weight up to 4th place, the following season after that, and they're in the Champions League. So in my way, I think they won't qualify, and I think it's going to be PSG and also AC Milan, I just said. So I'm going to really put that as my 2 teams will be the ones who will progress into the Champions League. So we've got PSG will come first in the group, and they'll come first. And then obviously we've got AC Milan will come. So yeah, so AC Milan and PSG will be the 2 teams who will progress into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. And that is that for my prediction for Group F, the sudden death. Now my reaction now to Group F to Group G of the UEFA Champions League. We've got Man City, Leipzig, Red Star Belgrade, and also as well Young Boys. And I think it's going to be a very easy group for Man City. They're going to probably coast this group, and they won the Champions League last season for the first time in their history. They'll come first again this season, so I think Man City will come first, and I think Leipzig will come second. The 2 teams like I just mentioned, and Group G will be the ones who will easily go through. I think obviously there's no chance the Serbian side, Red Star Belgrade, or even Young Boys in Switzerland will be the ones to make an upset and qualify for the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League in February. So I reckon it'll be Man City and Leipzig on that part of Group G. And let's get now to the last group. And now my last group in Group H we have is Barcelona, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk and Royal Antwerp, the last 4 teams to be predicted and reacted to in this group. Well, Barcelona, a team who have got no new camp now this season. Obviously their stadium being demolished because they're going to have a new upgrade into the stadium in a couple of years from now. So they'll be playing their games at the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, and it'll be huge for them to actually do well in that competition without no new camp in their front. But away from that, they'll be playing at the Olympic Stadium for this campaign of the UEFA Champions League. We also have as well Porto, a team who will be probably the likely ones could qualify in it. We also have here Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine, and also Royal Antwerp have never played in a Champions League before. They come from Belgium. But in my prediction, this group, the last group, I've just said, I think Barcelona and Porto will be the favourites, will go through. I think Royal Antwerp and also Shakhtar Donetsk will have to fight it out for the Europa League. So I think it'll be, obviously Barcelona will come first, and second will be obviously as well FC Porto. Those are the 2 teams I've just said, and they're obviously first and second on this podium, or this pot, or the pots they've actually drawn into the hat. So it will be Barcelona and Porto will be the ones who will progress into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League, and those obviously 8 groups of those teams are highlighted in green will be the ones who will play in the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League, and that is my predictions the 2023 and 2024 season. And that's all we have time for here today on this video here of the UEFA Champions League reaction and predictions for the 2023-2024 season. And if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want more of this content. And that's all I'm going to say for now. And I can't wait for the champion 2 weeks from now. Kicks off the 19th and 20th of September. And I hope that Arsenal will be the ones who come first or second and progress into the round of 16, and not try and come third and play Europa League. I'm hoping that ain't going to happen. So fingers crossed on that. But likely so, we'll probably go through anyways. But that's all for the video here. Peace out.